Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of the special event for Rolling Thunder Gaming. It's the 2023 Happy Holidays 200. It's the way to end out the year with some Christmas cheer and a final checkered flag for one of these drivers. Seth Cole alongside of Michael Norman. And Michael, 90 laps of racing at this super fast 2-mile speedway slash super speedway. Now, Christmas is the time for giving, but I have the feeling we get down to the end of this race, there's going to be a lot more taking.
Yeah, that's true. You know, Christmas spirit, everything gets you in the mood for Christmas giving and giving out. But Seth, there's also going to be, there's going to be a lot of giving out there too. You know, it goes both ways. The giving's going to start at the beginning and the taking's going to come at the end.
Exactly.
So these Aero 88 cars, I'm interested to see how they're going to run at this racetrack. You know, kind of been keeping my eye on them and here in practice. And I don't know, Seth, we've seen Aero 88 cars in the other game that give us heart attacks every corner, so hopefully it's not like that in this race.
Yeah, that is true. We also mentioned last week during the finale for the Talladega Challenge that for Season 61, they're moving over to this Aero 88 mod. Now, granted, this is not a full-fledged super speedway, but it'll give us a little bit of an idea of what to expect maybe in that regard in preparation for 2024. Here tonight, 31 drivers scheduled to take the green flag. Pretty stacked field. A lot of drivers that we're used to seeing on Thursday nights, but a lot of others that run regularly on the Tuesday nights.
The amount of snow that's gathered up in these corners.
You can't see a car if it spins off of 4 and down into that infield grass.
Nope, you'll never be able to see it.
And I have it on good authority. These cars are not equipped with snow tires. I saw a couple of drivers in the infield, and they were slipping and sliding around, so yeah, if you go down into that infield grass, you might need a snow plow to be able to get back out.
Could need Homer Simpson's Mr. Plow.
I honestly have never seen any Simpsons, so I don't understand the reference, but that's okay. A lot of other people will. On the pole position tonight, I don't know if this is a new track record or not, but last year, in the 2022 Happy Holidays 200, it was Sean Prime that sat on the pole with a 40.261. This year, it has been eclipsed by Jeff Supta, 40.162. Prime will start on the outside of the front row. Supta finished 7th here 1 year ago, and after leading a race-high 51 laps, Sean Prime ended up finishing 23rd. So both of those drivers trying to see if they can get the checkered flag here tonight. The driver that took the checkered flag here in 2022 is starting right behind them in 3rd, and that is Jeremy Jeffries. Well, Jeremy Jeffries is the 2-time champion in Season 60, winning both the championship in Bare Bones on Monday night and in Speed Freaks on Tuesday night. What do you think, Michael? Is he maybe one of the favorites here tonight to maybe go back-to-back in the Happy Holidays 200?
Well, he's got the experience. He knows the strategy. So, Seth, it's very well possible he might be able to.
And for those wondering who the champion is for the Air 88 series on Wednesday nights, we don't know yet. It's not official. They ended up having to reschedule their finale last week to this Wednesday night, but based off of the points gap he has, pretty safe to say Jeff Supta is going to be the Season 61 Aero 88 series champion. Happy hour is just about winded down. These drivers will get ready to grid up on pit road in preparation for 90 laps here at Michigan. And two things that always seem to kind of spring to mind when you talk about Michigan and the sister track Auto Club. One of them is tires. You have to conserve those. You have to make sure that they're around for the long haul. But another thing is momentum. So many times we'll see a driver try and make a move. They lose that little bit of momentum, and they go from trying to pick up 1 position to losing 3 or 4 getting freight trained. Do we see that again here in this race with the fact that these Aero 88 cars are CTS physics, or will it be a little bit more forgiving, do you think, if you have that little slip up?
Absolutely, and I can't wait for this to start.
31 drivers getting ready behind the, I believe that is a Pontiac
on 37 CDs.
Is that a Pontiac Trans Am, I think? That's there.
Where's Matt when you need him?
I'm not sure what manufacturer that pace car is from the back. We'll see if we're able to see the front of it, and maybe I'll be able to tell. Well, we gave you the front row with Jeff Supta and Sean Prime. Jeremy Jeffries going to make up row number 2 with Dave Melson. Josh Metallic, he's going to share row 3 with Ron Hagelin. Chuck McClure is going to roll off 7th alongside of Bob Dixon, and Andre Mahjong will complete the top 10 with
Mahjong
Nathan
Raja?
Balser. What?
I said Mahjong Raja.
I'm not
You
sure
get
what
it?
that means.
Maharaja, Mahjong Raja.
That was a stretch.
That
Ronald
was. It
Lucey.
was a stretch for all you wrestling fans who don't understand that reference.
Ronald Lucey, he's going to be 11th alongside of Doug Hewlick. Row 7 is going to find Richard Martin and Jim Glouge. You hear the command to fire him up. Greg Palmer, he'll be back in row 8 with Dave Robbins. Kelly Causey.
How? Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do, but I don't. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Anyways, so how fitting is it that the Grinch is on the pole for this Christmas race?
It's very fitting. I love that paint scheme. I was actually saying moments ago with our other broadcast colleague Anthony McCurry, the Grinch versus Scooby-Doo. I want to see that battle. That's the battle that we never knew we needed, but we should get. Chuck McClure with the Scooby-Doo card back there in 7th. All right, let me go back through the rest of this grid here before we go green. We got to go back to row 9. Kelly Causey alongside of Grant Wesley. Top 20 completed with Rodney Sellens and Andre Charest. And row 11, Terry Bombard and Glenn Harris. Row 12 finds Brian Schilling and Mark Paglia. Last driver to take time was Doug Cady. He'll start in 25th. He'll be alongside of John Godfrey, 26th. 27th will be Robbie Nice's Tom Dixon back in 28th. JT Mayhew in 29th. 30th place will be David Cannon, and Bob LaChance will bring up the 31st and final position in tonight's 90 lapper.
Neither of those two, I believe, are on the track right now.
The Cannon and LaChance?
Yeah, I don't see Cannon at all. It just ends at JT Mayhew.
Okay. So that'd be 29 drivers that will take the green flag then.
Well, Seth, we've got 90 laps of racing. I got one car, that Pennzoil car, already blinking before the start of this race. There's Christmas trees lining pit road. There's Christmas wreaths on the walls. And green flag is out. Wake me up before it's Christmas time. Yes, I was trying not to make a... I was trying for that not to be funny. Don't worry.
I think you did okay. I'd give you a 7.5 out of 10.
And that's a stretch.
By the way, did you happen to notice that the Grinch car has Grinch eyes for its headlights?
Yes, I did. And
as someone that has run a car that has eyes for headlights, I appreciate that.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, you're up in the booth. At least you're not looking in your rearview mirror with it on your back bumper. Off turn 4. Jeff Supta in that number 11. The Grinch will steal the first lap here at Michigan.
And will he steal the other 89?
That's the question, right?
You're the question.
Battle for second. Last year's winner, Jeremy Jeffries, the Toys for Tots, number 1. Big run there on that outside, trying to hold off the Oscar Mayer, number 39 of Josh Metallic. Metallic running the scheme that he ran this season, season 61 of the Aero 88 series. Next year, we'll be seeing him in the Gray Ghost, which we established on, what was it? It's a Saturday night. Is a Buddy Baker throwback. We had 2 different guesses, and both of them were completely incorrect. As Metallic takes the lead, and now Sean Prime will drive to the inside here. It's going to be interesting to see. You see a lot of them hooking that yellow line. We can see there's momentum on the top off of 2 and 4. How long they're going to be able to run down that low before eventually the tire heat builds up in that right front, the car starts to get tight, and maybe the groove starts moving up to the 2nd and 3rd lanes. Top 3 single file. 4th place will be Andre Mahjong on the inside of Jeff Supta.
Ooh, look how close these cars are getting to one another.
Dave Melson looked awfully squirrely right there, and I think he might have a little side to side. Gonna tuck in behind Ron Hagelin, the 111, the Coca-Cola machine. There you see what I was talking about right there with the 27 down that inside line and no drafting help down the back straightaway. See how he was kind of freight trained by the 11 and the 1. He'll slot up in front of Jeremy Jeffries as Sean Prime took the lead last lap. Metallic crosses him over through 3 and 4. Now he'll lead, and Chuck McClure, he's going to take it 3 going into turn 1. Little slide up there off the yellow line. Clears the nose of Josh Metallic. Metallic's going to get stuck in the middle and be 3 wide now for 4th place. McClure with a potential push from Jeff Supta, if not a physical push, kind of that bubble draft push. And that's going to propel McClure into the front.
It's hard to do when it's not a flat-out racetrack.
Right. But I guarantee you these drivers are not going flat out. Especially going into the corners at this point.
Which is why when it's not a flat-out racetrack.
Yep. Doesn't take much, whatever physics it is at a track like Michigan, for the tire heats to start to build up, and you got to feather the throttle to be able to make sure it's going to actually point and turn, rotate through the center of the corner. Jim Glaude making an appearance up here inside of the top 7. That's the white, silver, and blue number 72 right there, right side of your screen. He's the 3rd car in line on the inside. Trying to take 6th position away from Andre Mahjong. And right behind him, nope, that's not Darrell Waltrip. That's Grant Wesley in the Gatorade Chevy Lumina. Grant Wesley having an exciting weekend this past week. He was at some
dirt tracks, right?
Yeah, he was at the.
Oh, we already have a car.
Was it Gateway, I believe.
Down.
Gateway Nationals, I think it's called.
I'm not sure, but we already have a car a lap down.
Greg Palmer, I believe,
who is actually out of the race, but it's doing that thing like it did last time, where it's not officially scoring him off the racetrack.
Is he out of the race, or did he fall out?
Maybe he fell out. I
because
don't know. Can look at the.
He ended up having.
Oh yeah, he fell out.
I was gonna say he had an issue on last Thursday night during the Talladega Challenge finale where he fell out of the server. So apparently it's still being plagued by those connection problems. We'll see if he gets back in. But to your point, he is now, according to scoring, 2 laps down, and he'll go a 3rd down as they cross the start-finish line. Jeremy Jeffries will go to the point. Jeffries only led 14 laps last year en route to that victory. So far, he has led 3. Josh Metallic has led 2. Sean Prime has led 1. And McClure has led 1.
Maybe this kind of is a flat-out track.
I don't think so.
I'm riding on board with them, and it just kind of seems like, I mean, yeah, they slow down for the corner, but I don't really kind of, except for maybe checking up to not run into the person in front of them, they're not really letting off the gas that much. Right on board with Grant Wesley, and listen.
All right, let's take a here with that Gatorade Chevrolet.
And watch as aside from letting out to not run over the car in front of them, it just doesn't sound like they're out of the gas much, if at all, other than to, like, oh, real quick, let me make sure I don't hit this guy.
I don't know, right there. Granted, I did hear him bail out of the throttle on entry to not hit the back of Jim Glaude, but it sounded like he feathered it a tiny bit there coming off of turn 2 where the inside car would get tight.
I was going to say, yeah, that might just be the inside lane, though. You remember in our Winter Classic, the inside lane really wasn't all that, it was kind of like the middle to high lane in turns 1 and 2 had the better run.
Right.
But you still, on the bottom, you had to feather it a little bit, otherwise you'd really heat up your tires. He's going to tuck in on the outside behind the Grinch.
Big run there for Supta.
Man, we should have made sure that we had a snowy overlay in this race as the race goes on, so it just looks like it's constantly snowing. Whatever
I thought about
camera angle
doing
we go
that, to be
to.
honest. I had an overlay on our starting soon screen tonight, but I felt like putting snow overlay on the actual race itself would be a little too distracting.
These guys are racing in a blizzard. What's the temperature outside? Negative 364 degrees. Wait, what you're saying is there's a lot of grip on that racetrack? There sure is, buddy.
Not really sure if it was negative 364 degrees there'd be any grip. The thing would be caked in ice. Now, we already know these drivers aren't going to have any grip if they go off the track into the snow. Hey, speaking of the Talladega Challenge Series, here's the 43 of our Season 60 champion, Richard Martin.
Oh, I just realized something really funny. On the back of the 39 car, instead of saying Oldsmobile, it says Wienermobile.
Nice. It's not worth having a paint scheme if you're not going to have fun with it.
Exactly. Anyway, Seth, you were saying about Richard Martin?
Yeah, D-Mark, the Season 60 champion, and ended up making a little bit of history. You had to go all the way back to, I believe it was Season 49? No, I'm sorry, Season 50. Well, now I don't remember. Season 51, I think it was. To the last driver.
That was a lot of seasons ago.
Huh?
That was a lot of seasons ago.
That was a lot of seasons ago, and it was the last time, I think I've got the number correct, it was the last time that a driver ended up winning the Tally Challenge Championship without winning a race. Well, D-Mar managed to do that here in Season 60, and he'll be going into 2024 in the 61st season here with the Aero 88 cars, easy for me to say, as the defending champion. Doug Hulick making a pass to his inside. That looks like a throwback car, and I'm not sure.
What number?
The 23. It's got the U.S. Air Force sponsorship. I'm almost 100% certain that's a throwback car, and I'm... Oh, that's going to annoy me, because I almost can picture the car that's throwing back too.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back to me. I don't know. Well, we know who the 4 is. Brian Schilling. That's a throwback to Bobby Hamilton. You know, Brian Schilling is a Bobby Hamilton fan. Runs the Square D. Well, ran the Square D Bobby Hamilton scheme on his truck Thursday nights during the Tally Challenge. But that will obviously change as we'll be moving from the trucks to these Aero 88 cars. Is up at the front, Josh Metallic, Jeremy Jeffries, Sean Prime, Jeff Supta. They keep swapping the lead back and forth. Nobody yet of this entire group has led double-digit laps. The most that has been led has been Jeremy Jeffries at 6. And this is about to make it 7. Grant Wesley joins into the fray now as he'll move into 3rd. Look at the run that he and Supta were able to get on Jeremy Jeffries down that front straightaway and going into the first corner. Supta gonna hope it sticks. Not able to get the run off the corner. Jeffrey's going to hang on, and now Wesley will try and get to the right rear quarter panel of Supta for 2nd place. I see the Crisco Mobile. Kelly Causey working his way up there.
Did we notice anything about pit strategy here, Seth? Well, how long the distance is for these drivers to go on fuel?
Not 100% certain what the fuel window is, but based off...
Oh, they're going to go 3 wide back here? Ooh, they were able to hold it, too.
That was, I believe, Terry Bombard that was almost in the middle of that.
And the 43, yep. We just talking about him. Well, Seth, I guess we can kind of see if this is going to be anything like the Talladega races they do. See if it's maybe 19 to 20 laps. Maybe it might be a little less.
See, that's what I was just going to say. I think that probably with the CTS physics, since it is a track half a mile, well, a little more than half a mile less in length each lap, probably extend that a little bit further. I'd say probably somewhere in maybe the 25 to 30 lap mark is when we'd start to see them make pit stops.
Absolutely.
And I know from last year, they can hot pit here. It's a gamble, but they can hot pit here. We've seen a couple of cars last season. They ended up spinning around on pit road entry with the rear tires locking up. Was
I've
3
got to
wide,
step.
now to double wide.
I'm gonna step out real quick, Seth.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
And
It's
4.
just very much interesting racing. I was gonna say maybe commercial break because I usually help us with the segues into that, but I'm not sure when pitch strategy is. So if I'm not back, just know I'm right here.
And 4. Looking at the 00 Crisco Buick of Kelly Causey. I was going to mention the fact that last year, Kelly Causey ended up picking up the most places from start to finish. He rolled off the grid from 30th, finished the race in 4th position. Tonight he started 17th, and he's now up inside of the top 5. I believe I'm hearing a car up ahead that these drivers are starting to reel in. That is the Batman car of Tom Dixon, who was on the same straightaway as the race leaders, who just completed the 20th lap of this race. Jeff Supta back out in front. Tom Dixon going to try and keep that car out of the way, right up against the wall. Let's keep focused on the 45 here because they're double wide and almost 3 wide at certain points further back. Just make sure everybody gets by safely. Michigan, a very wide racetrack here in the corners. It narrows up a little bit, though, when you head onto the straightaway. But Tom Dixon going to very courteously keep his car right up there against that garland draped outside safer barrier, and looks like we are gonna be good to go. Mark Paglia there in the 28. We saw him go to victory lane Saturday night in the Talladega Nights Shake and Bake race. Right now he is in the 25th position. Last car in this lead group. 27 cars right now on the lead lap. Wanted to double check and see. It does not look like the 22 of Greg Palmer has returned into the server, and he is actually retired out of the race, though to Michael's point, he is not officially retired out. So with that being said, any cautions we have may have an extra lap added into it on pacing. We'll have to wait and see on that. We, of course, have Tom Dixon a lap down also. You saw Glenn Harris and Robbie Nice as they had lost the lead pack. I think Andre Mahjong may have hit pit road in the 27. I think we may have some more drivers coming to pit road here. Coming to the completion of lap 23. Doug Kulik, I believe, is coming in. Oh, nope. He was just very low off of 4. Let's check towards the back. Yeah, there's Mahjong. Oh, caution's out. Yellow flag waves for the first time here tonight. Probably just right around when these drivers were thinking about making pit stops. Did somebody maybe spin trying to get onto pit road? Don't see any skid marks, don't see any smoke. I'm not sure what the reasoning of this yellow would be. You see all these drivers here throwing in the clutch, waiting for the pace car to pick them up, but also probably trying to make sure they absolutely are going to get to pit road. As Jeremy Jeffries leads us under the first caution. Let's take a look and see if we can figure out why the yellow flag is waving. I didn't see any smoke anywhere. Oh, we did have an incident. It was on the back straightaway, towards the back of that lead pack we were showing you. JT Mayhew in the 338. Gonna get tight here. Actually, he got some help. That was Dave Robbins. Pushes him up into John Godfrey. Take another look at it here. If I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to double check here before we show you that other angle. I believe. Yeah. The 338 is sponsored by the Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's actually fashioned after the station wagon in the movie. That's a pretty cool touch. Speaking of touch, there's the touch from the 96 into the 338. Ruffled up the bow on the front of John Godfrey's grill. And that's what brings out the caution for the first time here tonight. Pretty light contact. I believe those drivers involved should be able to continue unhindered. Dave Robbins staying out. I believe he's staying out, taking responsibility for the caution. The ruling in RTG is if you claim a wreck, you stay out for the first lap, then come down pit road the second lap, which Robbins will do here, along with Robbie Nisus and Tom Dixon. This caution, a huge break for a trio of drivers. Glenn Harris and Robbie Nisus will stay on the lead lap. Andre Mahjong was able to complete his service and get out still on the lead lap.
There is a caution out.
There is indeed. We had a spin on the back straightaway.
I apologize. That was a little bit of an emergency.
Nope, you're good. Lucky dog will be Tom Dixon, so all 28 remaining cars should be on the lead lap on this upcoming restart.
Who was the spinner?
338 JT Mayhew. Little contact between him and the 96, and then up into the 711. But I think all of them are going to be good to go. I don't think anybody got really any heavy contact. Kind of what we call a harmless spin.
I like how I clicked on the 338, and it took me to John Godfrey. Also, I want to point out, too, Godfrey has a little bow on the front of his car, and that's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, that bow got ruffled a bit.
Ruffle the bows.
I was talking about JT Mayhew's car, fashioned after the station wagon from the sponsor on his car, the Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, that's I've seen it like maybe once or twice.
I've never seen it. I know the station wagon is iconic, so that's how I recognized it, but I've actually never seen the movie.
Man, there's a list of Christmas movies we're gonna have to get you to watch.
There are. I mean, this Saturday night, as far as I'm aware, is when we're watching the Jim Carrey Grinch. So
ooh, let me look up my schedule. I didn't even know that. Nobody tells me anything anymore.
I'm telling you now. Milt Surratt saving me in our chat here tonight. Doug Kulick's car throwback to Dale Jarrett. That is exactly who it is.
Yep. Also, as long as it's after 6 o'clock, I'll be fine.
All right, so we'll do it at 5 o'clock.
Great.
I kid. All right, Michael, you're really good at spinning things and having them make sense. That 45 Batman car, how is that Christmas related?
Well, in the second Batman movie, Batman Returns, it is actually focused all around Christmas time.
Really?
With the Penguin, Danny DeVito, and everything. Yeah, it was right around Christmas time. So it was like the setting, I guess, is Gotham at Christmas.
I guess that makes sense because a Penguin would need snow.
I never really put 2 and 2 together like that, but you're absolutely right.
I hope 2 and 2 makes 4 because that's all I can count to.
However, the Batman logo and scheme that he's running doesn't, except for maybe the logo on the hood, doesn't really depict the Tim Burton Batman movies, but...
Which one does it depict, or does it not depict any of the...
A specific one's probably either a comic book or a cartoon version of Batman. But the logo on the hood could be Batman from the Tim Burton series as well, so...
Gotcha.
Either way, there was a part in Batman 2 that's pretty much centered all around Christmas time, so... In a sense, the scheme was Christmas-wise.
See, I know that you've seen more Batman stuff than I have, so I knew you'd be able to find something Christmas-related. It's kind of like that ongoing argument of Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie or is it not? I'm not going to enter into that conversation because I've never seen Die Hard. So
I've seen it, but I don't really have an opinion on it. That would fall under the same jurisdiction as Batman. Like it took place at Christmas time, and so did Die Hard. So, would you consider the Batman, because it's centered around Christmas time, be considered a Christmas movie? So,
I can't remember what it is. We're back green. There's a movie out there. I was just hearing this argument a couple of days ago where literally the last scene of the movie is set around Christmas and they consider it a Christmas movie. Like the whole rest of the movie has nothing to do with Christmas, but because the last scene has to do with Christmas, like, oh, it's a Christmas movie. I can't remember what movie that was though.
Yeah, not sure either.
Well, confirmed, all 28 drivers with the addition of Tom Dixon back on the lead lap are all on the same lap as leader Jeff Supta. Jeremy Jeffries in second. Metallic battling hard for third place with Kelly Causey. Fifth place, Grant Wesley and Brian Schilling is... Ooh, Jeffries pushed up a little bit there, and I thought if Causey had enough of a run, he might have attempted to take it 3 wide. Decides not to do so, though. Rides behind Jeremy Jeffries for the time being. These drivers went about 22, 23 laps before that caution came out. Get a little bit of an idea now of what their cars can do on fresh tires, on old tires. They might get a little bit more aggressive here now on this run. Josh Metallic able to take advantage on the bottom there. Looked like Supta might have slipped up just a little bit on the entry to turn 1. Looked a little loose. Could be those cooler, fresher tires.
And the low rear spoiler.
Or lack thereof.
True.
Oh, I hear a spinner!
3 cars involved, including Batman. No, not Batman.
And as well as the Dale Jarrett throwback car of Hewlett, Andre Mahjong also in the 27.
I'm sorry, but since I said it now, I can't stop unhearing it. Every time you say Mahjong, I think Maharaj.
Whenever I say it, I think of the well, it's not a board game, but it's a game.
Mahjong.
Mahjong, yeah.
Yep. It's also the creator of Minecraft too.
No, that's Mojang, isn't it?
Oh, it's kind of almost spelled the same.
I'm pretty sure that's Mojang, but it is close. All right, let's go back and see what happened to.
Welcome to Mahjong Rub Minecraft.
1 dot. I don't know how to play Mahjong. I just know that there's like a bunch of dots and tiles and stuff. Let's see how this started, because Andre Mahjong was nowhere near Tom Dixon. It's Dave Robbins and Mark Paglia ahead of him. Oh, it actually starts with Hewlett. John Godfrey was in that. Mark Paglia got a little piece. Ooh, and then Tom Dixon comes sliding in. He got on the brakes and car just snapped around on him. There's, in reference to that very low spoiler, not allowing that rear end grip. Did the 23 get a tap? Did he get his tires down on the apron? Because that thing just started drifting loose on him. Let's see here. It just looks like that thing started coming around on him. Nowhere for Godfrey to be able to go. That's a big hit for him, and man.
Sometimes things honestly just kind of break like that, you know?
Without warning.
You can never expect it.
The thing I was kind of wondering was it looked like they were wadding up a bit there in front of him with Hagelin and Charest, and I wondered if maybe Hewlett for a brief moment might have breathed the throttle. Sometimes that can cause the car to get a little loose, but it didn't look like anything in that regard. And watch right side of your screen right here. Bam! Tom Dixon comes flying in. Back bumper to back bumper contact between him and Mahjong, but a lot of damage on the right side of the 27. It looks like we got a couple of cars already out of the race. I mean, you mentioned it's if not flat out, pretty close to it. These type of tracks very aero dependent to be able to stay in the draft. Even the minutest amount of damage can affect the car by a mile per hour or 2 in terms of straightaway speed. So to that end, it looks like both Andre Mahjong and John Godfrey are going to be retiring out of this race. And while it's a tough break, you got to consider as well, this is a special event. There's no points on the line. There's no championship on the line. There's a checkered flag, obviously. There's bragging rights going into the 2024 Happy Holidays 200 of, hey, I'm the defending winner. But maybe not as much of a bitter taste in your mouth DNFing from a race like this than it would be from, say, a regular season league race where points are on the line.
Yeah, I was also going to say it's like a points-paying race almost. It'd be different. It's way different than that.
Kelly Causey stays out and will inherit the lead. We'll see if this is going to be him keeping this track position or maybe trying to get an advantage a lap or two on fuel and tires. No lucky dogs under this yellow, so we'll have 26 drivers remaining when we go back green. We are more than a third of the way through this race here tonight, the 2023 Happy Holidays 200 for Rolling Thunder Gaming. And we're going to step aside for a quick FRN race break, then be back for the green flag. Don't go anywhere. Coverage continues right after this. Lights out atop the pace car. Now we're ready to go back green flag racing on lap 35. Kelly Causey will indeed be the race leader. Terry Bombard will line up to his outside. Some fresh faces at the front with Nate Balser and JT Mayhew making up row number 2. Sean Prime and Brian Schilling in row 3. Rodney Sullins now up to 7th with Dave Melson in 8th. Jeff Supta currently in the 9th position, and Josh Metallic will complete the top 10. 29 drivers started this race, 26 of them still running, all 26 on the lead lap. John Godfrey, Andre Marjan, Greg Palmer out of the race. Second restart of the evening here at Michigan as Causey gets us back underway. Causey going to stay up on that outside line. Nate Balser, big run down the back straightaway. Gets alongside of Causey through 3 and 4. Can he get the momentum off the corner back to the start-finish line? Going to be really close here, but I think it will prevail for Nate Balser. He'll get himself a lap lead. Now Sean Prime shows the nose to the inside going into 1. It's not going to work. He's going to get tight. Push up the track a little bit there in front of the silver and red Black Rifle Coffee. Number 38 of Rodney Sullins. Terry Bombard there holding tough on the outside line. Now he's starting to get freight trained a little bit there. Prime will get around him. Sullins, Schilling looks to do the same. Near contact off of 4 between Causey and Prime in the battle for second place. Nate Balser sees the run coming, can't get down to block it. Sean Prime gonna drive it in deep into turn 1, and ooh man, that car looked very unsteady through the center. Very loose with that shallow entry into 1. Hangs on to it, but you see the momentum he lost off of 2. Balser will keep the lead. Schilling will look to take advantage and swing around the outside for second. Boy, a lot of movement here. Oh man, near contact between Bombard and Jeffries. Almost some contact between Sullins and Causey. They're not given a whole lot of room right now. I mentioned the fact this is the season for giving, but as the laps tick away, there's going to be a lot less give. We're not yet to halfway, but these drivers, I think, realize, I think the caution actually might be out. It is. Yellow flag is out. I was going to say that these drivers realize that when it comes to these starts and restarts, track position is very important, so they're fighting tooth and nail, try and get every spot they can. Nate Balser is going to lead us back here to the yellow. Be our third caution of the night. Looks like something on the front straightaway right there. Some skid marks heading down towards the entrance of turn 1. Bob Dixon might have been involved in that. The STP Dodge. Maybe JT Mayhew. Mayhew, remember, started up inside of the top 5 for that last restart. But now all the way back here. Where did our leader go? Where'd the 079 go? Oh, there he is. It focused from the pace car to Sean Prime, so I thought our leader had a problem. But nope, there's Balser. He's good to go. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. Ooh, really tight in the front straightaway here. 3 wide. JT Mayhew and Bob Dixon, little door banging. And they kept banging on each other, leaning on each other. Eventually, the 143 goes around. Oh, and then comes back down the track and gets clocked by Robbie Nisus, who is looking like he was going to avoid all that. Let's take another look at that. Looked like JT Mayhew was trying to move up, give room to the car to his inside, which I believe was the 96 of Dave Robbins. And might have been trying to force the 143 up. Yeah, they just keep hitting. Eventually, contact is going to be made where it's going to cause someone to spin. It ended up being Dixon, and then, bam, there's the shot with Robbie Nisus. Maybe a little contact for the 8 of Glenn Harris. Very minute contact, if any. Let's watch this from the chopper cam. I don't know if Dixon realizes the 338 is 3 wide. He's not necessarily obliged to have to move up there for JT. JT pushing him up, pushing him up, pushing him up. And then right here, I thought Dixon was going to save it. Overcorrects down into Robbie Nisus.
It appears I have missed another one.
You have. Every time you go away, a caution happens.
I apologize, guys. It's let's just say nature's calling, and it's not good. I'll leave it at that.
You're going to see a man about a coach of horses.
Yep.
I hit you with an old man reference. I'm sorry.
You did.
Well, we got this opportunity.
And I have no choice but to agree with you.
Well, while we had this opportunity under yellow, now I get an opportunity to ask you another question about a potential Christmas movie. We got our chat weighing in. First off, Craig Hagley says Die Hard is 100% a Christmas movie, so he's on the side of yes. Also, we've got somebody saying Harry Potter is a Christmas movie to them.
Oh, I mean...
There's some Christmas scenes, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas scenes. Plus, but it also always It also always seems to play most around Christmas time. So
Now that's true too. Um, we know that the Sorcerer's Stone has a Christmas scene in it. I believe the second Deathly Hallows has a Christmas scene because they go to see Harry Potter's parents' gravestones on Christmas.
yeah.
Are there any of the other movies that have Christmas scenes in them?
I'm not sure.
Is the
But the second one had a Christmas time in it.
is the Goblet of Fire, the ball that they have, is that the Yuletide ball at Christmas?
It's at Christmas time.
Is it at Christmas time? So yep, that would be one.
Oh, it's the Yule Ball.
The Yule ball.
Come on, Seth. I'm pretty sure you watch Harry Potter more than I do.
The one where Harry Potter is introduced to the Marauders map. I think that's Prisoner of Azkaban, and not necessarily Christmas itself, but it is around Christmas time.
There's always at least one little Christmas scene in
Like
every
winter
Harry Potter
scene.
movie.
Yeah. They're in the winter for what's the one where, sorry, spoilers if you've never seen it, the one where Dumbledore dies. Is that oh gosh, I can't remember which one that one is. It's the one before the Deathly Hallows. I can't think of what it is. Gosh. I almost just said it.
You did.
Oh man, come on, brain, work with me. It's like right
Your
after
brain
the
doesn't
right
wanna
after
work
the
with you.
Goblet of Fire and right before the Deathly Hallows, and I don't know why I can't think of it.
Well, it's not the Half-Blood Prince.
Yes, it is. That's
Huh.
it. That's it. Half-Blood Prince. They have the winter scene where the girl is spelled by the necklace.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
so yeah, I think you're right. Just about every.
Would that be a Christmas scene, or would that be more of just like a winter scene?
It's a winter scene, but you know, still. That Milt says Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. I don't know what Lethal Weapon is. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
I've never seen that either.
I did get the confirmation. It is Half-Blood Prince. All right. We've wasted a couple of laps of caution talking about Christmas movies. It's time to get back to it. Jeremy Jeffries and Grant Wesley going to be the front row. Jeff Supta and Sean Prime in row 2. Richard Martin's going to complete the top 5. Nate Balser will be 6th. Jim Glaude, Brian Schilling, Doug Cady up in the top 10 for the first time tonight. And Chuck McClure are going to complete the top 10. Green flag in the air. 079 did not get a good start. Stacked up that entire outside line from 3rd position on back. Fanned him out 3 wide as a result, middle of the pack.
Here they keep going down the straightaway. All these flat noses should make it pretty interesting to bump.
Yeah, and
Jeremy Jeffries.
that's the big thing,
Toys
right?
for Tots. Toys for Tots. Wow, the Toys for Tots are being chased by the Grinch.
Wasn't there? Oh my gosh, that's literally the Capital One commercial. Have you seen that where they're talking about switching to Capital One is an easy decision, almost easier than, and somebody's like, all right, who should we have do the charity drive? And the Grinch is like, I'll do it. They're like, nope. That is literally the Capital One commercial right there with 2 race cars. Oh, Jim Glaude!
Oh, he's sideways.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That's the big one.
2 Pennzoil cars involved in it.
Man.
The Grinch was involved in it. Now Bob Dixon gets a part of it.
Andre Charest. Rodney Sullins.
Oh, and Grant Wesley's blown up. I don't think he was a part of the wreck, but he's blown up.
Oh, man. And Grant was 3rd, crossing the line last time by.
Yeah, he went to make a move on the 43, racing back to the caution, or at least slowing down, and it just randomly went kaboom.
Wow.
11 might have pedal problem.
Lot happening right there. bringing out the 4th caution of the day. You heard it right there. The 11 car of Jeff Supta might be having pedal problems. Let's drop back to him. There he is. Yeah, the Grinch was right in the middle of all of that. All the cars kind of migrated up to the lane Supta was in. And let's go back and take a look. Started with the 72 of Jim Glaude, who I think, kind of like we saw before earlier with Doug Hulick, just kind of hit, I don't know if there's a seam, if there's a difference in grip levels or what, but just hit that one area of the racetrack where it got his car very squirrely. Watch right side of your screen. 72 dips in very low on entry. And right there, oh, he got his left sides down on that yellow line. That's what happened. Kelly Causey in that, Terry Bombard, Doug Hulick. Boy, Dave Robbins popped up in the air. JT Mayhew was in it. Dave Melson. There were very few drivers that were behind that wreck that got through it without making some kind of contact. Take another look, and then we'll see the Grant Wesley issue.
A camshaft problem on Grant Wesley. That's what it was.
Hmm.
That is just terrible, and I hate the way to end that match.
Are you saying that because in another Christmas special event you were the victim of an engine failure?
I was. So I know exactly what he feels like right now.
By the way, just notice, shout out Jim Glaude. He's got an FRN logo on his car. Unfortunately, we saw it spinning around right there, but is the FRN curse back?
Maybe.
Well, Ron Hagelin did a nice job getting through that. I think Bob Dixon might have just been able to sneak through also. And then, as all this is going on, Grant Wesley was up ahead of it. And all of a sudden, this is over going into 3 just after the wreck has occurred. He drops down to the inside of Richard Martin. And right there, no warning, no money shift, no nothing, just all of a sudden it's gone. That's a tough break there for Grant. Wesley was not in last year's, I'm sorry, correction, he was in last year's Happy Holidays 200, finished runner-up to Jeremy Jeffries. He's not going to get that one position better here this year.
Wonder if there was
already
a
out
little
of the
bit
race.
of a wiggle prior to getting spun, or was it contact? I can't quite see.
For the 72, I think he got, if you watch carefully, his left side tires get down on the yellow line.
So then, yeah, probably just a little bit of a
Yep.
wiggle that became a big thing.
Yep, I think that's exactly what it was. Kind of similar to what happened with Doug Hulick over in 3, happening there with Glaude over in 2. Another thing that I kind of noticed as well that might have had something to do with that was he had a very shallow entry into 1. And earlier when Sean Prime tried to make a very shallow entry into the corner, he almost snapped loose through the center of 1 and 2. So you kind of seem like you run a risk of having a very unsteady race car if you try and make that bit of a dive bomb move into the corner, whether it be in 1 or in 3. So Nate Balser is going to inherit the lead. I believe he stayed out under this caution period while everybody else came to pit road. So he will obviously be off sequence on fuel and maybe more importantly tires, but he's leading his 8th lap of the evening. Most laps led so far, Jeremy Jeffries, who lapped to his outside. Jeremy has led 18 laps. Jeff Supta, who was just involved in that last incident, has led the second most with 10. Third most, 8 by Nate Balser. Then 4 laps led by Kelly Causey, 3 apiece by Sean Prime and Josh Metallic. and then 1 lap out in front by Chuck McClure. And that's your lap leaders so far as we are past the halfway point. You ever seen King Kong?
I have. Well, it depends on which King Kong.
That's somebody
I've
say
seen a decent amount
they're
of King
saying King
Kong.
Kong is a Christmas movie.
I guess it depends on the movie, because once you get one of the New York scenes, I think takes place at Christmas time. So I'm not too sure.
All right, well, we're gonna get to this in a minute. We're getting ready to go back green, but I'll kind of feed you a question in the bullpen for the next time we have a chance to talk. Get ready to tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is.
Ugh. Are you
All right,
asking me that now, or
I'm
doing it
asking
in
you
a little
that.
bit?
I'm asking it now, but we'll want the answer later. It'll give you some time to kind of brood it over.
Okay.
Pace car going to make the left-hand turn to pit road. 4th restart of the night past the halfway point here. Nate Balser going to get us back underway. Grant Wesley, the only driver out after that caution with the engine failure, joining John Godfrey, Andre Mahjong, and Greg Palmer in the garage area, leaving us with 25 drivers still remaining in tonight's special event. Now, the tire difference isn't going to be huge between Nate Balser and the rest of the competition behind him, maybe about 3-4 laps. We'll see if that translates into him getting shuffled out very quickly by the fresh Goodyears behind him or not, as Richard Martin deep dive there into 3 on the inside of Jeremy Jeffries for 2nd. Chuck McClure right behind him, showing the nose, 3 wide potentially. Almost got his left sides down that apron off of 4.
Not quite. So, Seth, did the caution come out while I was gone the first time, or were you able to get green flag pit stops in prior to it?
Nope, came out just before the pit stops, actually. One driver did go on to pit road, but the caution came out immediately afterwards, so we have yet to see a round of green flag pit stops here tonight.
But do you know roughly the fuel
And the
length?
caution's out again, I believe. I think I just saw the caution lights on over there into 3.
Yep. Possible wreck in the back with the 75, the 45, and the 11.
They're all going again if it was them. Wonder if it might have been one of those half-spin saves that still might bring out a yellow. Andre Charest in the Pabst Blue Ribbon, number 75. Nate Balser going to pick up the pace car on the back straightaway. 5th caution of the night. Let's go back, take a look at what happened. It looks like we had a solo spin. Might have gotten a little help, though. Jim Glaude right
I think I'm
behind
staying
him.
out.
And no, I don't think the 72 ever hit him. 75 was in trouble on the entrance to turn 1. And Glaude kept off of him, it looked like, the entirety of those corners. Let's look from the helicopter cam. I think we'll be able to see there is space continually between the 75 and the 72. Right there, I thought made contact. No. Right there, maybe a little bit. But I kind of get the feeling that the 75 was going around one way or another. And Jim Glaude pounds the outside wall trying to save his race car on the back straightaway. Timing of this yellow kind of interesting, Michael, because it would be with less than 40 to go that we go back green. We've already established these guys can go about at least 22, 23 laps on a tank of fuel. We don't know the full maximum that they can go, but I would say if they ended up pitting now, they could make it on one more pit stop. All right, you've had the chance to be able to... Huh?
Did I say, as they're coming out of pit road here, balls are going to be not exactly the first one on the pit road, I don't believe. But go ahead, Seth.
Well, you've had the chance to mull it over. I'm going to hit you with a question now. Favorite Christmas movie?
It's got to be Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Uh-huh.
Yep. No one can beat Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
What's the last
That
time? What was the last time you saw that movie?
probably last year at Christmas time.
Wow. I've only seen it once, and I saw it the year that
Probably
it
gonna
came
see it
out.
twice on Saturday.
Yep. I saw it the year it came out. I actually didn't seek it out to watch it. I watched it at a friend's birthday party, actually.
Huh.
Uh, Probably nobody will ever have heard the movie that is my favorite Christmas movie. It's called The Man Who Saved Christmas.
Is it in black and white?
It is not actually. It is in color. It features Jason Alexander, who played in Seinfeld. He is portraying A.C. Gilbert, who created the Erector set, which was kind of like the first mechanical models that were made. It was featured around that was time period was I think World War I, if I recall correctly, and he had to convert his toy store into a munitions factory. Eventually, then uh, did both. He created munitions in his factory, but also opened up a second factory. It's actually a really, really good movie. It's got some good actors and actresses in it. Edward Asner's in there, and it's all based off of a true story. As a matter of
I
fact,
feel like that could be a big mix of an issue there. Imagine getting a stuffed animal full of bullets ready to blow.
um, that you spun that in a way that I'm not really sure how to respond.
Left the man speechless.
But
That's a first.
but no, it's really good movie. Really good movie. Highly recommend if you've never seen it. Air Buddies Christmas. There you go.
Oh Lord.
Air Buddies Christmas and Snow Buddies. Even though Snow Buddies isn't exactly Christmas, but that's a good one too. Of course, I'm just a sucker for husky puppies, so.
Not bad, not bad. Lights out on the pace car this time, I think.
Think
This
so.
time by.
Yeah, we got a couple of drivers making some last-minute dives onto pit road. Robbie Nice's Tom Dixon, so that'll move some of the drivers that would have restarted outside the top 6 or 7 up.
Gotta be Kelly Causey coming to get a leader down for the restart prior with just under 40 laps to go.
Kelly Causey in that Crisco machine, of course, the nickname Buckshot for Causey, and apropos, driving a throwback to Buckshot Jones. I only know this because there was, you mentioned about the 1987 cars that they run over in iRacing. Somebody actually ran this paint scheme, and I had to look it up, do research as to who the throwback was to. Makes a lot of sense with Causey doing it here tonight. '23 of Doug Hewlick might be okay. We saw him involved in one of the earlier cautions when he looped it around going into turn 3. He's up here in the 4th position, so it looks like he might potentially still be up to speed. Terry Bombard to his inside there in the 10. He was involved in the back straightaway wreck that also collected up Rodney Sullins, who's right behind him. So a few of these drivers here tonight. JT Mayhew on the outside of the front row. He was involved in the very first caution on the back straightaway around lap 23. So a number of drivers so far here tonight that didn't get the race started off exactly the way they wanted. They've been able to, through strategy, gain track position. We'll see if they can hold it, as we'll be going green with, if my math is correct, 36 laps remaining. One stop, one pit stop to the finish. They cannot, I know this for certain, cannot make it 36 laps on a tank of fuel. So they will be on pit road at least one more time, and that is all of our remaining 25 drivers.
Bring the flag back out. Here we go. About 35 laps to go, 36 to go. Man, I think all this winter coldness is affecting my health or something, man. I am just this is are you feeling cold up here?
Not yet,
I
but
mean,
then
if
I'm
I know
wearing,
you,
like,
you probably have the thermostat blasted to 90.
I'm wearing 4 layers of long underwear, though, so...
I didn't need to know what kind of underwear you're wearing. But thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. They're all Grinch-themed.
Grinch. Yeah, each one has a different version of the Grinch.
Shaved Grinch. Half-shaved Grinch.
Jim Carrey and then Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wait, Benedict Cumberbatch was a Grinch?
Yeah, he was the voice of the Grinch in the animated new movie
Oh, that's right, yeah.
that nobody likes.
I didn't see it. Which, it's kind of odd because I'm a Benedict Cumberbatch fan, but nonetheless. Brian Schilling. He shot out like a cannon to the lead. And that Kodak Chevy Lumina. I believe that is, let me double check. Yeah, that's the first lap that Brian Schilling's led so far tonight.
Huh.
He's been up there in the top 5 most of the evening. He just hasn't been able to get out in that clean air. Now he has. It's opened up a bit of a gap there to a side-by-side between Bombard and Causey. Helix under fire, 3 wide. McClure to the inside. JT Mayu up on the top. Little side-to-side back there for 038 of Dave Melson, and he was almost 3 wide, so that's a little sketchy. Look at Jeremy Jeffries, big run in the front straightaway. He's going to take it high, wide, and handsome. 3 wide around the top here through 1 and 2. Let's see if that works. Is there enough grip up there for him to be able to complete that pass? Ooh, he almost was on a first-name basis with the outside wall, but it looks like he was able to at least keep momentum up to stay alongside of Chuck McClure. Kelly Causey was the one in the middle that had to back out.
Team continuing to go in here.
Brian
Now the
Schilling, Chuck
question is,
McClure.
do you think Schilling can keep up, or better yet, because we know that these cars are going to have to make at least one more pit stop prior to the finish of this race.
Right.
So do you think Schilling keeps it in the lead, or do you think eventually he kind of starts saving some tires?
Honestly, I think that he's just going to stay out in clean air for as long as he can for 2 reasons. Number one, since you know everybody's going to have to make at least one more pit stop, I don't think you even really need to worry about saving fuel. Yeah, granted, you may be about a lap or 2 disadvantaged than everybody else, but I don't really think that's going to put you behind the 8 ball, because these drivers projected they would have to pit with about, well, let's say the fuel window is exactly 25 laps with when we went back green. They'd have to pit with about 20 laps to go. I'm sorry, with 15 to go, I should say. So there's still plenty of time to be able to get back up to the front. The second reason, out there in clean air, you can probably run flat out. You don't have to worry about lifting for somebody. You don't have the aero tightness of somebody in front of you. So I think I'd want that clean air all day, even if there is a fuel disadvantage.
Absolutely.
I was going to mention about Brian Schilling and Chuck McClure up here at the front. These are 2 drivers that did not fare well last year in the 2022 Happy Holidays 200.
Almost a battle for the lead right there.
Yikes, and Terry Bombard pushing up the track there. Brian Schilling, he finished 17th last year, and Chuck McClure finished 20th. They were down near the bottom of the drivers that finished on the lead lap. Doug Heulick in that 23 could be a bit of a sleeper here tonight. Mentioned he had a bit of an issue at the start of this race, but last year he started 12th, finished 11th. And right now, running up inside of the top 5, battling with Jeremy Jeffries, last season's winner.
Continuing to go straight. Single file, front 4 cars. 3 cars, my bad.
Jeremy Jeffries going to complete the pass around the outside of Terry Bombard. Now crosses to the inside of Doug Heulick. Oh, man. How in the world did he clear himself across the nose of the 23? I don't know. Oh, Bombard saves it. Nope. There they go. Oh, they had it saved. Oh, that's some big hits there. Richard Martin
Now the
Doug
question is, do they
Katie.
take the
Oh,
yellow or not?
they're still wrecking.
Are they buried in the snow?
One of them was. I think Rodney Sullins went through the snowdrift.
Oh, they're still wrecking in the corner here. That was Doug Caddy, or Katie. Is it Katie? It's Katie.
It's Katie.
Doug Katie.
Terry Bombard up against the outside wall, and I think he might be done. Kelly Causey's on pit lane. Oh, there's Rodney Sullins in the snow. Oh, there he is. Man, they had it saved.
That was so close.
Let's go back, take a look. Contact starts between Terry Bombard and Rodney Sullins. And I thought we were going to dodge one there. I thought we'd be good. There might have been just that one little extra bit of contact. Terry comes down off the wall into Sullins, and right there, yep, that last little bit of contact. Nowhere for Richard Martin to go, and there you see, oh man, that's a pretty good hit with the back end. Taking out a couple of those Christmas trees along with him did Rodney Sullins. He's probably going to have to come out of his paycheck. He's going to have to plant some new trees. Oh, Ron Hagelin right there. You see the roof of his machine trudging through the snow.
Interesting to see cars coming down pit road now, knowing that I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah, it's close. Like, if they came to pit, what lap is it right now? Because we're looking at the replay at the moment.
64.
64. It's close. I mean, in my head, the maximum I think they could probably go is about 25 laps. So if they pit at lap 65, maybe they can make it the rest of the way. And then again, that's just the number in my head. They might be able to go further than that. They could go maybe 26, 27 laps, and we just don't know it. Oh, there's the shot Causey takes. Then contact from Dave Melson, and like he hits something right. What does he hit? Can't see it through the trees, but all of a sudden that car came to a stop. Is there like an invisible wall or something in that snow? Let's see if this camera angle tells us what he hit. Right here into the snowdrift, and yeah, there's something he hits and it just comes to a stop. Oh, and then he gets hit from, was that Hagelin? Okay. Let's get a chopper cam if we can of this. Even though the white car will probably get lost in the white snow, but we'll see. Right here, watch when the car stops. Right there. And then Hagelin hits him there. Yeah, he hit some kind of an invisible wall. Got glitched into an invisible wall. And you can hear the car revving as he's trying to get out of that invisible wall. But apparently he was stuck and had to teleport to pit road. Still sitting on pit road, waiting for the team to service him. We'll see if he gets back out there or not, as Robbie Nisus will stay out and lead a lap, and
be interesting to see who stays out.
Probably, yeah, probably he'll be coming to pit road and turning the lead over to Brian Schilling. That was actually the first lap led for Robbie Nisus here tonight. He's stayed out a couple of times under caution, but somebody's had the same idea and gotten the lap led ahead of him. This time he does officially get a lap led in tonight's Happy Holidays 200. Fortunately, it's under caution rather than under green. All right, I think we're reconnected. Apologies for that. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We should be good to go, and it looks like Terry Bombard and Kelly Causey are both going to be out of this one. Causey, the latest retiree, so there will be 23 drivers remaining, and all 23 will be on the lead lap. You can see here, Michael, these race leaders, they are clutching, trying to save every bit of fuel that they can, but it is going to be super close. And now this kind of brings your previous question a little bit more into the spotlight of do you want to be leading because you're going to be using up more fuel, kind of like super speedway rules, creating the draft for everybody else. If you are borderline able to make it, being out in front could put you that extra lap short of making it the distance. So remember when we said earlier tonight that the later we got in the race, the less giving there would be? Well, maybe you'll be wanting to give the lead up as soon as possible to be able to get the benefit of draft to make absolutely certain you're going to get to the rest of the scheduled distance.
You know, this is going to be very interesting to watch here, Seth. What are your predictions going to be coming down to this last couple of laps in this race? You know, we're coming up to about, is it 30 to go? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be 30 to go when we hit
Well,
lap
no,
71.
it'll be 20 to go.
You know
70.
what? I can't math.
No, it's okay. I can't either.
I'm telling you this. I got to C in math.
No, I.
And that was just because my teacher didn't want to see me again.
I laugh only because it's relatable. Green flag back in the air. I keep saying I hate math. I told myself that after I graduated high school, I would never do another math problem. So what I do, I became a commentator where I deal with numbers and statistics. Brian Schilling getting us back under the green.
Here comes Carrot Top. I meant Scooby-Doo behind him. Sorry, the hood makes it almost look like it's Carrot Top, but it's not.
Does it look like Carrot Top?
Just a little bit. If you look at Shaggy's face and then Scooby has the hair, just kind of look a little bit, like that.
Maybe a little bit.
Little bit.
There's gotta be. I've never seen it, but there's gotta be like a Scooby-Doo Christmas or something movie out there.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Has to be. You can capture all those Christmas family moments on Kodak film. You see, we can spin any of these sponsored cars into a Christmas theme. Michael embellishes his a lot more. He's more creative in that than I am, but we find a way. I say that, and yet there's a little voice inside my head that's going, oh, we got a caution out again, so I may end up asking you.
Oh, boy.
Well, now everybody will be able to make it on fuel.
This time. It's a wreck involving Mark Paglia.
The Motorcraft Ford, the Wood Brothers throwback. Richard Martin's on pit lane as well. And I was going to say, I don't think that's his pit stall. I think DMAR just parked it. Not a sound on the back straightaway. No, your volume did not go out, people. These drivers threw in the clutch and turned off their engines.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore saving.
Even Seth pitting now, they could make it. 20 laps.
They
can go about 22, 23. They can make it.
I think if you're like middle of the pack, you're coming down pit road to make absolutely certain. But I don't know if you're these front runners, if you're going to give up the track position. If they're going to pit, they're going to pit here. They're not going to wait the second or third lap. And survey says... no. A couple of them are coming in. Jeremy Jeffries says why not. Dave Melson, Ron Hagelin, a couple more towards the back. Looks like Jim Gloud and Rodney Sullins. So Jeremy Jeffries, who won this event last year, going a little off strategy, maybe thinking the fresh tires and that confidence on fuel is the winning strat.
Rodney Sullins took his car to the actual garage.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I mean, he literally drove it into the garage.
Did he literally turn left into the garage?
Yes, he did. Go back and look at it on camera.
We're going to first take a look at what brought out the yellow.
These cars, these drivers, I don't know about staying out, man. It's clutching, but that's going to be a big gamble.
It's also going to be interesting to see where Jeremy Jeffries restarts.
Did you happen to see Terry Bombard's request?
I did not.
He asks, can you talk to me after the race, you and your partner there?
Oh, yeah, sure can. We'll do that here in just a moment. We're going to try and first see the reasoning for the caution. Oh, man. 28 just flat out loses it going into 3. Watch this. No warning. This time up on the top side, and there it goes. Contact with Glenn Harris. Now, one car that was not involved in that. Actually, a couple of cars that were not involved in that. Right there, Rodney Sullins and Richard Martin. But you see how far back they were. I think probably them realizing that they're not going to be in the conversation for this win. That's why they both ended up coming to pit road here and parking it. As you said, Michael, the 38 actually legitimately makes the left-hand turn into the garage area, as we'll see right here. Finds the little opening, and there he goes. Alright, so lights are still on atop the pace car. Let's see if we can. We'll have a little freeze here for a moment just because we have to be able to move him in.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Oh, you got it? All right. See if we can dial up Terry.
If I can find him real quick.
Check down below the room that the drivers are in.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Hey, come on, work with me, TeamSpeak. Come on. I can't. I literally can't. It won't drag. There it goes.
User was moved to your
There
channel.
we go. We got Terry Bombard up here. Terry, got a copy?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, sorry, I tried to type afterwards. It's not about tonight. It's about something about our Friday Night League.
Oh, all good. We got the opportunity here if you want to do it.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
All right,
Yeah,
so
if you want-
obviously a tough break there for you out of this race, but you know we've been kind of doing some speculations of what you drivers were experiencing out there. You know, was it full throttle? We've seen a lot of drivers like getting snappy loose in certain areas of the racetrack. Like, what is it that you drivers are absolutely experiencing here with this double wide 3 wide? Are the kind of loose conditions we're seeing? Is it the car? Is it the setup? Is it the track?
It's the track. The outside groove is not that good, and to go down low is the way to go. That's why you see everybody going to the bottom. But yeah, you can pretty much almost drive full open. But if your tires get worn, like me, you would have almost hit the wall, and that's caused that big wreck like a bozo. So, well, yeah, it's good racing though. Good racing if you can handle it.
Good racing for sure. All right, well, we will talk to you afterwards here, Terry. Sorry to see you out, but you gave it a heck of a try up there. We're racing really hard inside that top 5.
Yeah, thank you, bud. Good job, guys.
User was moved out of your
Alrighty.
channel.
So we
Get ready
will
to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, and it's going to be with less than 20 to go. So
Oh, these cars about to run out of gas.
they should make it.
I'm gonna say this. I downloaded the car scheme pack like you told me to, and there are still some cars out here I don't see.
Okay, so the reason
scheme-wise.
for that was there were about 4 or 5 schemes that were submitted after the car pack that were in the file browser.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm seeing a number 4 Burger King car, and you have a number 4 Morgan McClure car up
What's
there.
wrong with Burger King?
It's not the right scheme.
I still ask the question, what's wrong with Burger King?
Nothing's wrong with Burger King as
There
we
you
go
go.
back racing here.
Just wanted to establish that there is nothing wrong with Burger King. Green flag back in the air for Brian Schilling. Chuck McClure, little flat-footed there on that restart. Sean Prime looking to take advantage and move into second. Brian Schilling's close to leading the most laps here tonight. How about Ronald Lucet up in the 3rd spot? Great run for the 62, and Ronald was a top 5 finisher in last year's Happy Holidays 200, bringing it home in the 5th position. Was the only driver that year in the top 5 that didn't lead a lap, but he was there when it counted in the closing stages. He is here again in 2023. And now he's got McClure to his inside, 3 wide. Oh, man, that 62 looked loose as he tried to keep it off of Prime. Hey, look who's making his way back up here, Michael.
Looking back at it.
The Grinch is looming.
Your brain is full of Spain.
Got 99.5 spiders.
In your brain.
Do you think that if he wins this race...
Nobody will understand it except Levi.
Do you think if he wins this race, we can get Soup to sing the Grinch song?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
Oh, they're 3 wide here.
It's okay. If Chuck McClure wins, we'll have him sing the Scooby-Doo song.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I'm in victory lane. Where are you right now? Yep, that was terrible.
Yeah, an attempt was made, gang.
It wasn't. No, it's not an attempt, gang.
Ooh, they were 3 wide, looking 3 back
there.
there.
Oh my gosh!
Still
I just
3.
realized, is the driver in the car the Grinch?
Is it?
Look.
Oh, it looks like it could be.
I wish I could see inside the car right now.
Okay. Note to drivers: please keep it green so we can do this rear cam.
Oh, it is.
It is the Grinch. Going all out on the paint scheme is Jeff Supta. Yes.
You know what? I don't even care if he finishes in the top 3. You should interview him after this race.
Oh, man. Gotta love it.
Anyways, we have a race going on.
We do have a race going on. We got some jostling for second place. Brian Schilling trying to channel his inner Dale Jr. and kind of to control where the momentum is. As McClure cleared Prime into second. Hewlick looking to move into third. He's going to get pinched down by the 15 off of 2.
See where it gets the run at. An outside lane gets a good run.
Remember the one car of Jeremy Jeffries who's up on that outside line. He's the furthest up, I believe, with freshest tires because he came to pit road under that last yellow. Don't know if that's going to translate into extra speed for him or not, but he did restart back around the 10th, 11th position. He's already made up 4 or 5 spots. I believe we've been running about 3 or 4 laps under caution in the 7 yellows we've had so far, so bear in mind, race could end under yellow, and that point of no return would be somewhere around the completion of lap 86, completion of lap 87 mark. That was Andre Mahjong that they just made their way around, the wounded 27. Putting him a lap down. Actually, correction, that was not Andre. I believe that actually was the 54 of Robbie Nisus. Andre's out of the race. Sean Prime moving into the second spot. And look at the toe he gets with the draft down the back straightaway. Big run heading to 3. He's not going to be able to go anywhere with it just yet. Josh Metallic going to move into the 3rd spot.
Me to you, I'll go wherever
Third
you go to get around him.
finisher
He's just making us use all our tires up.
Last year.
I'm with you until we get around him for sure.
Doug Hewlick in that 4th position. Waiting to see what happens. And Supta right there, trying to go coast to coast after he started on the pole position here tonight. Jeremy Jeffries, he's got all the gifts on that car, so I hate to make the pun, but he kind of looks a bit boxed in. Not really able to advance past the 7th spot.
No help for the leaders. We got a lead change.
Sean Prime going to go to the point.
I'll do what I can.
Left out to dry there,
like
Brian Schilling.
He tried to pinch.
Sean Prime talked with him a little bit earlier on tonight.
Make him use some of his tires up.
Nothing's a better medicine than winning. See if he's able to keep everybody else at bay here.
Except for maybe actual medicine.
Well, that's true too. Whoa! Schilling went way up the track there. In 3 and 4, I don't know if he missed his mark
up his tires. You know, we and you both know how that works.
Oh yes. Good, Doug Kulik. Going for second place. Can he make it stick? Jeff Supta right there with him, offering some draft. Oh, and just like that, Supta up to the top. Behind Metallic. He suckered him in. This time by, be 8 laps to go. Sean Prime out in front, in control for the moment. He started second place here tonight on the outside of the front row. 6 laps out in front for driver 15. A driver who last year led a race high 51 of the 90 laps, but finished out of the race in the 23rd position after starting on the pole, looking for some redemption here in 2023. Jeremy Jeffries made his way up to 4th alongside of Jeff Supta now. We've run enough laps that maybe those fresh tires, they've kind of canceled out now. The advantage could be gone.
Could see yet another Christmas car go to victory lane.
Could indeed. That red, 15. White, and green machine.
Oh, wait, here comes Metallic.
Whoa! Fades low, shoots high.
You could get a good run off the corner.
And we saw Metallic help Sean Prime get to the race lead, but we talked with Josh after the Talladega Challenge finale.
Oh, on the outside.
On Thursday night last week, and he said when it comes down to the end, I'm a team player up until about 5 to go, and then I'm on Team Josh. You saw him trying to make some moves there on Sean Prime. Now Doug Kulik gets alongside of him with those two side by side. That'll stall them out and bring Jeremy Jeffries into the conversation as he dives it down to the inside of Kulik for 3rd. I feel like we haven't heard the last of the one. That's another position he's picked up.
No, not at all. We all know how good he is at tracks like this.
Won this race 1 year ago. 2-time champion here in Season 61, the Barebone Racing Series and the Speed Freak Series. Supta trying to get around Doug Kulik for 4th. As this time by, 5 laps to go. Robbie Nisus, 3 laps down, running, so add an extra lap of caution if we were to get one. I think we're at the point of no return.
Yeah, I believe we might be.
So we'll give the disclaimer that if an incident occurs, from now to the checkered flag, we will stay up here at the front and watch the race back to either the caution or the checkers. And we'll go back and look at any subsequent replays if necessary afterwards. And speaking of caution, there it is. This could be the race right here. Sean Prime is going to cross the line at 4 to go, and I believe he has won this race. We'll see if we get a restart, but I doubt it. I thought I saw the billboard over in 2 with the caution lights on, but I wasn't 100% certain.
I don't really see nobody wrecked except for maybe Tom Dixon.
Try and figure out what brought out the yellow here, since we'll have the opportunity under these pacing laps to do so. But I didn't want to say anything because my telemetry did not show a caution out yet. Only then when I saw the lights off of 4 blinking yellow did I know for certain that we had the caution flag out. What was the potential race-ending yellow? Let's see if we can figure it out.
Gonna use that Batman car.
Gonna use the pace car as a reference.
Okay, you use the Batman car.
Oh, Dave Melson.
Oh,
038. Really? He's gonna get some help going into 3 from the 96 of Dave Robbins. Melson tried to drive it down the inside of Hagelin, drifted up, lost momentum. Robbins still had his momentum and gets into the left rear of the 038 car of Melson, spins him around, and That is potentially what is going to end this race under the caution flag, and Sean Prime will get that redemption from 2022 and be the winner of the 2023 Happy Holidays 200. That was a battle around the 14th, 15th position.
And they're still doubling up, so I
do
wonder.
They think we're gonna go back?
I wonder if we might get a one-lap shootout, maybe.
Dave Robbins has taken his car back behind the wall. Looks like he'll be finishing, well, either 19th or 20th. Robbie Nice is 4 laps down. I don't think he's got enough laps to be able to get that spot. So Robbins will probably finish 19th. But with Robbie Nice on the track and off the lead lap, I think we are going to have that extra lap of caution. I would be shocked if the lights go out in the pace car this time around, but we'll see. The 15, I think, will be perfectly fine if the lights stay on. Second place on back, they want to see the caution lights go off. What will the driver of that Chevrolet Corvette pace car do? Will he flick the switch, or will he keep the lights on? They have to go out this time for a one-lap shootout.
We'll have to wait and see.
Survey says
nope.
They are still on. So this race will end under yellow. Sean Prime will see the white flag next time around. And then the following lap, he'll see the checkers. For Jeremy Jeffries and Josh Metallic, it'll be back-to-back years that they'll finish in the podium in the Happy Holidays 200. Jeffries the winner last year. Metallic third place last year, so it'll be back-to-back thirds for him.
I will let you take your questions tonight, Seth.
10-4. Doug Hewlett, great run for him here this evening. After an early spin to bring it home in fourth, and Jeff Supta, who was caught up in a big wreck on the back straightaway after he led 10 laps tonight. Looks like he's going to complete the top 5. Chuck McClure will be 6th. Ronald Lucey in 7th. Brian Schilling, who was leading up until about 10 to go, got freight trained back to 8th, where he'll finish. Jim Gloud and JT Mayhew are going to be the top 10. Dave Melson came down pit road, and they pushed his car back behind the wall. So it looks like officially we'll have 18 drivers that will finish this race under power. 17 of them will be on the lead lap. And this time by, the white flag will be displayed over the number 15 of Sean Prime.
Yellow and white flag.
Yep. A lot of different drivers were out in front here tonight in this one. Prime leading this lap, and the upcoming lap will have led a total of 14 laps tonight. 18 laps led by Jeffries, 10 by Supta, 22 by Schilling, 11 by Nate Balser. So a number of drivers were out in front for good chunks here this evening. I believe we had a total of 10 drivers that ended up leading laps here tonight at different points in this race. And when Sean Prime comes around, takes the checkered flag, we'll be watching the victory burnouts. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck in a snowdrift. And then we'll be talking with him, along with Jeremy Jeffries and Josh Metallic, our podium finishers here tonight. Now, folks, want to remind you that we do have another race coming up here later on this week, Thursday night. We've got the team race for Talladega Nights. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the green flag is scheduled to fly. You've got Team Mobs versus Team Donlin versus Team Divins versus Team Sullins.
Some good, interesting team names there.
It's a lot of fun to observe. Not a lot of fun to call because it's very confusing to know which number is which. Because the team cars all look the same. The only difference is the specific numbers, but we'll be doing our best. That's this Thursday night. champion going to be decided for the Aero 88 Series this Wednesday for the RTG Aero 88 Series drivers. Jeff Supta looking to close out the deal in that one. But here tonight, closing out the deal, it is Sean Prime picking up the victory here in the 2023 Happy Holidays 200. Christmas has come early.
For
The driver of the Stingray Chevy Lumina.
I agree. Them going around.
Or actually, correction, I think
soon?
that's a Monte Carlo.
Is it
Based off the decal on the front. Yeah, it's a Chevy Monte Carlo.
Chevy El Camino.
There's always one driver that gives a congratulatory bump that spins out the winner. Who's the nominee tonight? Yeah, so far nobody. I guess nobody's going to spin him out. Okay. They all gave him even bumps. All right, Sean Prime going to have to make sure he does this burnout on the racing surface. Oh gosh, look at everybody. look at all the roofs sticking up out of the snowbank.
It's crazy, but it's funny too. Look at them all.
Look at them all doing burnouts.
It's a celebration. And
Everyone gets a burnout.
Exactly. It's Oprah up in here.
Would you get your Secret Santa a burnout?
a championship title trophy.
A replica of my trophy. You can hear the burning out. Oh my gosh, somebody's up and over. Oh, Metallic's making snow angels. But instead, since he's sponsored by Oscar Mayer, it'll look like a hot dog with wings.
Oh, Lord.
And they're still having fun in the snow. What is going on?
Well, Seth, before we do questions here, I'm getting that urge again, so I just want to quick give you my final thoughts, just in case I'm not back.
Okay.
And that is that this race was fun, exciting, happy to be a part of it, and to watch this. These guys had a lot of fun. It looked like, you know,
they're still having fun.
There. Yeah. Oh yeah, had a couple cautions, but you know that's what racing's all about. So, congratulations to these guys, especially to the winner Sean Prime, and can't wait till Thursday. So I'll see you again Thursday.
Absolutely. I want to thank Michael for joining me here tonight. He's been battling a little bit of a bug, so appreciate him sticking it out here as long as he's been able to. Sean Prime parked in victory lane. There's in the background, all mayhem is taking place behind. Get on in there, Sean. They're having a snowball fight without you. Looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Nope, he's got to do some more burnouts here in the snow. I think they're trying to get the 39 flipped back over, but no. Josh wants to make snow angels, or snow hot dogs, or snow bologna. Snowloney. I'm having too much fun with this. All right, let's show you the finishing results here from tonight's race. Prime with the win. Jeremy Jeffries in second. Josh Metallic will bring it home in third. Doug Hulick in fourth, and Jeff Supta will complete the top five. Chuck McClure sixth. Seventh for Ron Lucet. Brian Schilling, Jim Glaude, JT Mayhew. Your top 10. Andre Charest will finish out the event in 11th. Nathan Balser in 12th. Doug Cady will be 13th, Ron Hagelin and Bob Dixon in 14th and 15th. Last two drivers to finish the race on the lead lap, Glenn Harris in 16th and Tom Dixon in 17th place. Dave Melson, Dave Robbins, they retired under that last caution period in 18th and 19th. Robbie Nice has finished the race under power, but 4 laps down, get credited for 20th. Now the rest of these drivers retired out of the race after the 8 cautions we had here tonight. Rodney Selvins, Mark Paglia, Richard Martin, Kelly Causey, Terry Bombard, Grant Wesley with the engine failure, John Godfrey, Adi Mahjong, and Greg Palmer. Now the good news for all those drivers suffering the DNFs here tonight, was a non-points race, no championship on the line, no points on the line, no winning or in situation, no playoff berth at stake. Just out there having fun, trying to end out the season with a checkered flag. And Sean Prime is the one that gets to do so, as looks like he has toasted his engine. All right, it's time to head into our FRN post-race wind down and dial up our top 3 finishes here this evening. Let's kick things off with the guy that brings it home third place for the second year in a row, and that's Josh Metallic.
User was moved to
Hey,
your
Josh,
channel.
Michael Seth up here in the FRN booth. You got us?
Got a copy.
All right, so first off, we were trying to figure out if you were making snow angels or snow hot dogs out there on the front straightaway after the race. But man, I mean, back-to-back third-place finishes in the conversation for the win yet again here, 1 year removed from the podium finish in 2022. Had a shot at it last year, a shot at it this year. What little more would you have been able to do to get around the 15 and the 1 if we had had those final few laps under green flag conditions?
Yeah, I was, I was pushing pretty hard, racing Doug Heulick. He had a good run. Working some other guys on the bottom side. I was on the high side, and we were able to save good tires, but it was I could see showing up ahead, just playing the lines, trying to make us all use our tires up. So I told Prime, I said, I'll go with you. We got to get around him, make him use his stuff up. And once we got around him, I had maybe 1 or 2 runs that weren't really right. They weren't close enough to really make the pass. So, kind of used my tires up. And then Jeremy had a little bit better tires. He caught us, and I let him go right away because I knew he was going to race Prime, take it 2 wide. And I figured that was my chance when they go 2 wide to go 3 wide and try to sneak one out again. But, yeah, it was a good race. It was fun. It was awesome early, got kind of ugly in the middle, and then we had some good racing at the end. So close but no cigar.
We knew coming into the night, with it being a track like Michigan, that tires were going to be as important as fuel. We were trying to, with an onboard, gauge just how much you guys were having to breathe the throttle in the corner, whether you were on the inside or the outside line, to make sure that the right front didn't overheat and push up. We saw a couple of cars actually go snap around kind of randomly on the entrance to 1 and the entrance to 3. I mean, just how skittish really were these cars at the beginning of a run, middle of a run, end of a run, with how the tire temps were?
It was sneaky loose on the starts and restarts. I would sit there and you'd be holding the wheel through the turn, and I was literally trying to figure out, is it starting to get a little light on the back end? Am I starting to get loose? And it never kicked around, but it felt like real flighty, like it was about to come around. It never did. Once I saw it happen to other people, I thought, okay, I'm not crazy. It does have a sensation of wanting to get loose, especially if you drive it in hard and then dump out of the gas early in a run. It'll want to kick around on you, and then after a few laps, it starts getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I think that caught a lot of people out. And every time there was a restart, there's less laps to go, so you're less likely to kind of let it breathe, take it easy. It's got antsy, and more antsy, and more spins. So it's a little tough.
Well, kept it under you, up there in the conversation for this win. Would have been interesting to see if this thing had played out under green, if you'd been able to get up there and challenge for this victory. But again, solid back-to-back third-place finishes here in back-to-back years in the Happy Holidays 200. Congratulations on the great run here tonight. Spent some time out in front as well. Before we let you go, floor is yours for thank you, sponsors, and shoutouts.
Yeah, thank you to you and Michael, for doing these again. Appreciate it. It's always a fun time to go back and watch them. You guys do a really good job, so can't wait to watch it. Bones and Prime, they did a lot of work behind the scenes just getting this event. People were having issues with car files, sending the wrong files, this and that. So they were doing a lot of work getting this stuff all set up for tonight, and all this stuff they do all year long. All the drivers that showed up, some crazy good racing. This track and setup, makes it possible, but the drivers definitely did it. As many wrecks as we had, we probably escaped a dozen that should have been. So yeah, just thanks for everyone showing up, everyone that helps things run over here, and everyone that shows up to race every week.
Well, some great racing indeed. We were treated to tonight. Josh Metallic brings it home third place this evening in the 2023 Happy Holidays 200. Congratulations once again. Have a Merry Christmas, Josh, and we look forward to seeing what the future brings here in the upcoming 61st season for the respective series.
Yep, ready for next season already, and yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everyone. Enjoy the time off. I know I will.
Absolutely. That's Josh Metallic. He's going to be your third place
User was
finisher
moved out of
here
your
tonight.
channel.
Behind the driver we're ready to talk to next brings it home in second place, 1 year removed from being the defending winner of this event. Let's see if we can dial up Jeremy Jeffries.
User was moved to
Jeremy,
your
Michael, and
channel.
Seth up here in the FRN booth. You got a copy?
I do, I guess.
Well, man, I'll tell you what. The caution prior to the one that ended the race, you made the call to give up the track position, come down pit road, take on those fresh tires. You were slowly, well, I can't say slowly because you were actually very quickly moving your way up through the field, but I'll say methodically working your way up there to the front. You get up to second, that caution comes out. If we didn't see the yellow, did you have the 15?
It's hard to say. I mean, um, I'd used up a lot of tire getting to the front, and they were getting really heated. I actually had to let off a few times coming off the turn, or I would have got the wall. So I really don't know because I don't know how hard he was driving it up there in the lead.
Now, we mentioned the fact you came into this race as the defending winner. Were there any little tricks from last season that maybe came into play with your decision to come down pit road and take on those fresh tires?
Oh yeah, I knew even a little bit of tire was going to help. That's just the nature of this track and nature of the mud. And unfortunately, I didn't have as many people come down as I'd hoped on that last caution. So I think I'd been in a better position if I might have stayed out. But
Well, some great numbers here in the last two seasons in this special event. The win last year, second place here this evening. Gotta think we'll be definitely looking in your direction in 2024 when the Happy Holidays 200 rolls around again. Congratulations on the performance here tonight. Would have loved to have seen what you could have done there if this race had finished under green, but great podium finish for you. Before we let you go, though, Jeremy, we'll give you the opportunity to thank some sponsors and do some shout outs.
all right. Well, thanks for you guys coming out and doing this broadcast. It's always a lot of fun. This race is just amazing every year. And I told them before I came up here for the interview, I was like, I'm gonna run this car every week. It's got a first and a second, and it's two showings, so that's pretty nice. Congrats to Sean. It's good to see him win. He does a lot for this league, helps keep it going, and yeah, it was just a good win. I don't mind running second to him. I'd like to have the win, but if I had to lose to somebody, I guess I could lose to Sean. Uh, Thanks to all the other owner, David Cannon and all the admins and just XFM teammates. The Toys for Tots paint scheme, I love that paint scheme. I think it's kind of cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Definitely a great looking paint scheme, and Jeremy Jeffries brings it home in the second position here this evening in the 2023 running of the Happy Holidays 200. Congratulations once again, the great performance there, Jeremy. Enjoy your off season, have a Merry Christmas, and we look forward to seeing what you bring to the table in 2024.
All right, thanks you guys as well. Merry Christmas.
Let's see if we can now go down
was
to
moved out of your
Victory
channel.
Lane and dial up the driver, the number 15, Sean Prime.
User was moved
Sean,
to
Michael, and
your
Seth up
channel.
here in the FRN booth. You got us?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Well, we talked with you earlier on tonight, feeling a little bit under the weather, but winning makes everything better. You had the one bearing down on you there, had a little bit fresher tire. Could you have kept him in your rearview mirror if that caution hadn't come out, or was that caution a saving grace to be able to put you in victory lane?
I never want to see it end under caution like that, and I knew Jeremy had the fresher tires, but every time I was able to get away from those guys battling behind me, I was just saving a little tire temp. So it was on all night, man. I mean, I know the cautions were out for a while, but when they weren't out, the racing was just crazy good quality, especially up in the front, and it was fixing to get crazy again. So we don't know, to be determined, but I was going to give them everything I got.
Well, we'll rewind to last year in 2022, this same event. You start on the pole, you lead 51 of the 90 laps, but end up finishing out of the race in the 23rd position. Had one of the strongest cars on the evening. Does tonight feel like some vindication for last year?
Yeah, had to remind me of that one. I think I ended up in the snow.
I think you did
But
too.
yeah, I think I've ended up in the snow as many times as I've won this thing. So it's probably evened out again. But yeah, it just felt good. Racing with these guys, I just can't say it enough. The appreciation when you can race with a group of people, you know them, and you can go this close side by side. And added bonus, my wife was watching tonight. She doesn't catch much of these things, and she was excited. So you guys must have had a heck of a broadcast.
Also, just for my curiosity, going to ask you this question because you were the leader at the time that all of the hardcore clutching was going. How close were you guys at that one point? Because we didn't have a clear idea of what the fuel window was. We figured probably you guys could go maybe about 25 laps, a little bit further. The caution came out at the beginning just before you guys were thinking about making green flag pit stops. So at that point in time, when we were around the 25 mark to go, were you guys going to be able to make it, or was it going to be really close?
You hit it right on the head, but with the pace we were setting, especially at the front, 24 was tough, and 25 is what you needed. And I clutched and clutched and clutched, like you said. So we took the green with 24, but it was going to be close. I mean, I actually dumped the clutch a couple times right there before the caution came out again, just knowing if I wanted to run up at the front, you were going to consume some more fuel. It's another one to be determined, but strategy changed every time the caution came out. I mean, I took two, I took four, I took two. I couldn't tell you how many different times now, and I ended up way back about 20th at one point, and I'm like, I feel good. I got four tires. This is going to be fun, and it was.
Well, with the special events having no points on the line, no championship implications, usually we end up seeing those kind of unorthodox gambles and usually make the race very interesting as it did here tonight. Sean, congratulations on the job well done here this evening, taking home the checkered flag after leading 14 laps tonight, starting on the front row as well, up front all night long. Before I let you get back to your celebrating, the floor is yours for Victory Lane. Thank you, sponsors and shoutouts.
I think we were celebrating all night. We'll spare you the colorful conversation that went on during all those cautions, but I want to send a big thank you out to everybody that makes RTG happen. My partner in crime, Bones, but then the entire staff, but really the drivers and everything. We're all the same people, and it's just great to come do it, and that we've been doing it for so darn long and doing it pretty darn well. So just this is their race to give back and for us to have fun, and we certainly did tonight, so we'll call that mission accomplished for sure. And I want to thank you guys for another great Flatout Racing Network broadcast. Seth and Michael, enjoy. Glad to have you as always, and best Christmas, happy holidays, and looking forward to the new year. Hope everybody's happy and healthy, and wishing our best to everybody and their families.
Well, Christmas comes early for Sean Prime tonight. He is the 2023 Happy Holidays 200 winner. Congratulations once again. Go enjoy this one. Have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your off season here, and best of luck with what's to come in 2024.
10-4. You two guys, enjoy.
Sean Prime, your
User was
winner
moved out
here
of your channel.
tonight in a thriller from Michigan, Nextel Winter. Came down to the wire there in the closing stages. The caution kind of playing its part into the end of this one, taking away a few of the question marks we had, but nonetheless, from start to finish, incredible race, great strategy, double wide, three wide racing, all the way through the field. Seemed very difficult for anybody to be able to keep the lead up at the front. Lot of lead changes. This is typical of what happens at this racetrack with these cars. We saw it last year. We see it again here tonight. And if we get the call in 2024, we'll be seeing it once more. Thank you all for joining us here this evening. We hope you guys enjoyed our coverage of the Rolling Thunder Gaming 2023 Happy Holidays 200. Next up, this Thursday night, we've got the Talladega Nights team race from Talladega Nights Super Speedway at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we appreciate everybody that has tuned into our coverage tonight and during the course of the season here for RTG. If you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, be sure to tune in to the upcoming 61st season of the RTG Talladega Challenge, which will be here on FRN starting in 2024, because they will be running these Aero 88 cars. That is going to be a lot of fun to see how they draft, how they bump, especially with the hitbox in Super Speedway Racing at Talladega and Burnt Screwdrivers Raceway. But once again, appreciate everybody tuning into our coverage here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My thanks to Michael Norman for joining me here this evening. And for him and myself, Seth Cole, Have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we'll see you back here for the 61st season of Rolling Thunder Gaming. But until then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast of FRN, the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.